What's going on, guys? It is TC here, back with another episode of TC Talks, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys the latest White Sox news. But first, if you guys would, please hit that subscribe button. We are on the hunt for 50 subscribers. We're trying to live stream our main radio show on SportsTownChicago.com, The Winner Circle. We're trying to bring that, guys, to you because there's been some problems with the online site. There's been some problems with the TuneIn app. So we want to be able to get that out consistently to you guys. So you guys subscribing here makes that happen a lot better. So we really appreciate it. Again, go check out the Instagram, _winnercircle_22. We have all of our other social medias on there, so you are going to want to go check that out today. But without further ado, let's dive into those Chicago White Sox because they are struggling right now. And it's going to go back to what I said on the Winner Circle. I know a lot of people didn't like this. Tyler Farringold, my co-host, was even like, hey, TC, that's kind of sus. I don't know if I agree with that. And that is the notion that Jose Abreu needs to be traded from the Chicago White Sox. And we'll dive in a little bit more into that after we recap that last game, if you could even call it a game, versus the Royals. Yeah, it went into extra innings, but that ending was atrocious. How is there a wild or a passed ball? I'm sorry, that was not the pitcher's fault. Literally squeezed right out of the catcher's glove. I literally hit him in the glove and he missed the ball. So I'm blown. How that was allowed to happen. I mean, they probably still would have lost like 4-2 because of that base hit into left field. But still, that was abysmal. That shouldn't have happened for Chicago. But why are we even in that situation as Sox fans? Why do we have to go into extra innings, go through that hardship and loss? That is because despite a bunch of big names in the lineup, Tim Anderson, Luis Robert, Jose Abreu, Yasmani Grandal, all of those guys being in the lineup, the White Sox still find a way to only average about 2 to 3 runs a game. And when you give up 7, when you give up 5, that's not something you should do. And for once, well, not for once, but definitely in this circumstance, the Chicago White Sox fielding was all to blame. Now, did the pitching give up runs? Did the pitching give up hits? Of course, that's what happened. But at the same time, there was an error behind the plate, and that's really what cost them the game. Now, maybe if that pass ball never happens, maybe that single never happens, who knows what would have happened. But the fact of the matter is, it was another error in the field for Chicago, and it cost them big. Jose Abreu's had some of those moments, but that's not the main reason why I'm done with Abreu. Why I'm done with Abreu is because he looks awful right now, especially in that last game. A bunch of balls off the end of the bat. The only one he made even semi-decent contact with was one where he was like, you know, when you were a kid and there was an outside pitch, you kind of stuck your butt out and just like threw your arms out there to hit it. I mean, he didn't stick his butt out, I'll give him that, but he kind of just threw his arms at a pitch that was obviously way out of the zone, that was obviously not something that he should have been swinging at, and he didn't even try to go with the pitch. You know, an outside pitch, all you guys know, I don't need to tell you that if you have an outside pitch, you're trying to go opposite field, right? So, in that case, why did he jam it basically to third base? I mean, he should have been looking to go oppo into right field, and he hits this weird little dinker right to the third baseman. It might have been the shortstop that actually fielded the ball. I'm not quite sure on that, but it was definitely in the infield, softly hit, and it's like, dude, you are the bat for the Chicago White Sox. You were brought here despite your age, despite all of those things that people were calling into question. You were supposed to come here and be fantastic. And I'm not saying he hasn't been. I'm not saying Jose Abreu is a bad player. In fact, I'm going to argue that he's a good player. But it's not what Chicago needs right now. They have a young 24 Adam Vaughn out there in right field, I believe he plays. He has been bringing an electric bat to this lineup. I mean, shoot, even Sheets is doing a pretty good job overall. Berger's doing pretty good. But when I look at the White Sox, what's the main issue? One, obviously fielding. Two, pitching. Sorry, kind of blanked there for a second. There's a hair on my screen. It's throwing me off. But so those Sox, what can they really do? I mean, fielding, you're not going to get rid of Tim Anderson and Jose Abreu and some of the guys in the outfield because of mistakes. You can't get rid of 3 guys in your lineup. You can't go into that bullpen and trade all of those bad pitchers in the bullpen that have blown games to try to get yourself something good. What you can do, though, if you are the Chicago White Sox, is you got an MVP first baseman, a Rookie of the Year first baseman, who's able to go out there and produce some offense for teams, and he's a pretty decent fielder overall, too. So, why wouldn't you be looking to get rid of that guy to get some pitching? Because, yeah, Lynn's hurt. Giolito is hurt. Joe Kelly, I always forget what his first name is. I always know his last name, but I'm like, what is his first name? And I have a cousin, another cousin, a brother, my middle name, and my brother's middle name is the Italian version of Joseph. So I got 5 Josephs just right there in the family, and I still can't remember the name. But I digress. Joe Kelly has been hurt as well, but that can't be the whole pitching rotation. Like, that can't be the guy that's going to pitch every game because you only got 2 starters and you got 1 reliever. You can't have those guys throwing all the time. Liam Hendricks, I believe in him. I think he's going to do good, but at the same time, Sox bullpen, Sox starting pitching looks horrible. I don't know which one you address first. That's the main issue, is when I look at Chicago, the main issue that I see is that you could have a guy that, like Velasquez, let's just say. Velasquez can go out and actually have a decent game, right? Velasquez will go out, have a good game, but then the relief pitching comes in and it's atrocious. Now, I am old enough to remember when the Chicago White Sox were pretty darn good in the bullpen. They weren't the best, not trying to say that, but they definitely threw the hardest. They actually did throw the hardest fastball-wise. They had the highest average fastball speed for the Chicago White Sox just a few years ago. So for them to come out here this season after making no trades whatsoever, Joe Kelly was the biggest trade of the Sox offseason. And let's be honest, I love Joe Kelly. I said I like the move, but at the same time, that's one guy. He's kind of older, up there in age. They didn't bring in anybody to really kind of rebuild this starting rotation, especially because Carlos Rodon is gone. You know, they didn't do anything to replace his caliber play, and that's something when I'm looking at it as a Chicago White Sox fan. What are you doing? You need a good starting pitcher. I know Giolito's good. I know Lance Lynn is good. But you need a third guy that's just as good as them, if not maybe even better, because honestly, Lynn and Giolito are honestly tier 2 kind of guys, in my opinion. I know Lance Lynn has the capability to be a really good pitcher. I know Dallas Keuchel has the ability to be a really good pitcher. I know Dylan Cease has been dealing right now, but at the same time, those Chicago White Sox, they need a good starting pitcher, a go-to guy, and I just don't see that for them as an organization. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know if you guys agree down in the comment section below. Would you get rid of Jose Abreu to go after some good starting pitching for the Chicago White Sox? If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, subscribe. We're on the hunt for those 50 subscribers. I will see you guys next time.